Diamond Hands Holly. Good to have you back with us, brother. Good morning to everybody out there in YouTube land. We've got 5 minutes and we'll get our first round of press releases. Let's hope something good pops up at 7 o'clock. It's been a while since we've had a really tasty one. We need something with some meat on the bone. Patricia, good morning. Sheila, good morning. EYEN halted pending news. David, good morning. Kathy, good morning. BDTX, yeah, that's moving. I had it earlier this morning and sold, but yes, it is moving up a little bit from where it was at 15 minutes ago. It's getting a little bit of a push here. Might get back up over $2. Yeah, I was down on the position a little bit, a few pennies, so I decided to not risk it, get out. Took a little bit of a loss on it, but that's all right. Like I mentioned this morning on Discord, if it starts acting better again, starts acting right, I might get back into it. But always try to cut them losses when they happen. You hope they don't, but every once in a while, it happens. Oh. You know, we always hope that we get into something and it goes up right after we get in. That's always the dream that it's going to go up as soon as we buy in, and it just keeps going up, and we can get out with some nice little profit. But every once in a while, it doesn't work out that way. Sometimes you get in and it'll go sideways for a little while, and you're just patiently waiting to see if it's going to finally go, and then it does move, but it moves in the wrong direction, and you just have to sell and get out and chalk it up to a bad trade, chalk it up to a bad entry, and move on. All right. EY. All right, we'll watch for news on EYEN, and we'll see. Zoom user, yes, absolutely. Yeah, if you need the link to the Discord, just let me know and I'll post it for you right here on Zoom. Can I invest with the check I received from the VA hospital? If you cash that check and it's your money, you can sure can. That's nothing wrong with that. SAG. All right, we've got about 5 seconds here. Are you guys ready? Ready for those 7 o'clock press releases? Let's see what pops up here. Spry, 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 reports fourth quarter financials. That doesn't help us, does it? Bragg, BRAG, Fourth quarter revenue. Plug. Compensation plug stock. Plug CEO reinforces his commitment to the company by taking 50% of his compensation in stock. Don't see that often. It might have been a smart move for him. You never know. Financial results and provides business update. Tilray Brewing Company, celebrate third-year partnership. That's junk. Oh, man. Boy, nothing. I've got about 14 more here to click through. However, they're either in the red or there's no volume. Let's see, we got a vote before important shareholder meeting. Looks like STSS is calling for a vote. RVYL secures major payments as a service contracts, set to onboard nearly 1 million new accounts in the next 12 months. RVYL. No volume there. Spry moving up a little bit on their financials. SPRY. ADTX. Are we going to get another rip out of that one today? APDN hitting the scanner. Boy, these press releases are just junk. OPRT. No volume. ADTX, keep an eye on that one. APDN as well. APDN. Clicking through these reports. APDN. Sun Solar Bank, SUUN, received $1 million in government incentive for the Camulus Solar Project. That doesn't seem to be very good. RVYL reporting fourth quarter PDN. Let's see where APDN is going to go. It's had a nice little climb here from 218 up to 245. It's pulling back at the moment. CLSD, lead clinical program, is going to be highlighted at the 2025 wet AMD and diabetic eye disease Summit. It's junk. CGTX, talking about their cash runway into the fourth quarter of 2025. IONQ achieves major quantum computing milestone, demonstrating quantum outperforming classical computing. It's on IONQ. All right, let's go back now and recap on some of these. SAG coming down. IMG really came down. BDTX pulling down. APDN back down to 235. Just no follow through here this morning. None of the press releases at this point. We've had 61 of them. And so far, none of them are doing anything. APDN might try to go. IONQ just popped. This is one that I'll reread this one again for you. IONQ achieves major quantum computing milestone, demonstrating quantum outperforming classical computing, for what that's worth. But it did pop up. Went from about $23.02 up to about $23.84 since that came out. AUTL, nothing there. Well, the trolls are out already on YouTube this morning. AUTL. Nothing there except financials. IMG. My goodness. BTOG. APDN pulling down. Oh, where's my moderators? There we go. IONQ still pushing up. 23.95. $24.09. Moderators are busy this morning. Oh my gosh. We are calling out stock press releases this morning, and we're not seeing a whole lot. APDN trying to push itself back up again. None of our press releases have moved a tremendous amount. APDN getting a nice pump again. Let's get it back up. See if we can break 242. ADTX, come on, baby. A lot of potentials here. Oh, let's see. ADTX on the move. It's on the move. Not a lot of volume there, but it is moving. She's a moving. Come on. Maybe a 3-day runner out of this one. Boy, Tesla's taking a hit this morning. But it looks like it's climbing back up. I would expect to see Tesla climb right back up again. If we look at Tesla, long term, boy, it's really come down off of those highs back in December tremendously. I've always said, don't ever underestimate Elon. I think that stock's going to go back up again. I think it's heading back up. EONR. EONR just popped from 55 to 65. Let's go back and look at EONR. ADTX. Wow, that thing popped to 1150. Back to 1109. IONQ pulling down. IONQ announced a groundbreaking milestone. We read that part already. With designing important life-saving medical devices. Got it from 1045 to 1140. Nice. Nice trade. Yeah, we've been watching ADTX for several days here. We mentioned this stock coming right off of that reverse split back on the 17th. And we talked about that in pre-market on the 18th. We knew that was coming off of that reverse split with a low float, and we talked about that in pre-market. And he was at like $4.18 at that time. Now, I seriously doubt anybody held it that entire time. If they did, they had a great trade. All right. Terry, good morning over on YouTube. You are getting around, my friend. Let's see, DPRO. Former U.S. Acting U.S. Secretary of Defense appointed by President Trump joins the Dragonfly Board of Directors. DPRO. Take a look at that one. DPRO. MOGO, MOGO. Results for fourth quarter. EONR. Did we go back and look at that one? How many of you grabbed some of that one? That was just starting to move when I mentioned EONR starting to pop up. ADCT Therapeutics to host fourth quarter. All right, let's go back and look at EONR. It's trying. It's hanging in there. CYCU. Pushing up a little bit, isn't it? MOGO. MOGO. Adjusted for exit of brokerage business. Fiscal year 25 subscription and service revenue to grow at mid to high single digit rate. Well, that's not doing anything. Oh, my goodness. Press releases have not been good to us here. Let's go back and look at EONR. That's back down to 64. That one's taken a hit bad. XHLD. 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 I was trying. We got 1.3. EONR down to 65. CYCU pulled down hard. IMG curling up a little bit. SAG coming down. BTOG hanging in there. My goodness. Rough. ADTX. Ooh, rough waters out there. Chris, absolutely. Hang on just a minute. There you go, Chris. I just sent it to you on Zoom. All right, let's go back and look at XHLD. That one's pulling down. Boy, not seeing any follow through. pretty rough out there this morning. We managed to get EONR from 55 cents up to 72 cents. But boy, it is struggling. I hope this is not indicative of what we're going to expect here this morning. AGMH trying to pop up again. AGMH, that's a cheap little 9-penny stock. It was up in 10-cent area earlier this morning, I believe. But it is trying to pull up. SAG coming down. IMG still trying to curl up. Still trying. Back up to 64.9. Looks like we dipped down to 60. It's pulled itself back up to 65, 66. But having troubles. Come on, keep pushing. We've got to get something to follow through this morning. Something to keep going here. CYCU. Pumping up again, back up to 71. Looks like we've got the same players here going up and down and up and down. Nobody new joining the game here. SAG is still falling. IMG. Kind of looking over some of these low float things. We've got our little press release here on EYEN on their reverse merger. This is an all-stock reverse merger. Inovia will own about 83% of the combined companies upon completion of the deal. So let's keep an eye on EYEN here. See if we'll find a time for this thing. It's halted right now because of the news. We'll see when this thing releases. We'll get a time for that, and we'll keep an eye on it. It halted at about $1.67. That was the valuation was based on that closing price. On Wednesday's closing price of $1.67. That's where it's at right now. Inova said the proposed transaction assumes a value of $77 million for Betalig. That's the other company that they're reverse merging with, and roughly $15 million for Inovia, which sports a market cap of about 3.51 million based on Wednesday's closing price of $1.61. Right now, we've got bids in the 180. It's at 167. We've got some bids at 189. Ask is up around 202. But I suspect that's going to change as we move through the morning here. We're going to see some different numbers popping in there. But we're going to find out just when that's going to release. And we'll keep an eye on it. In fact, I'm going to duplicate that and throw that right over here where I can see it. And I'm going to duplicate that and throw it over there as well. And we'll keep an eye on EYEN. All right, just that simple. All right, SAG. Name of the stock, Rami, was EYEN, Inovia Incorporated. They're doing a reverse merger, an all-stock deal. It's halted right now because of the news. We're going to keep an eye on it and see what happens with it. Rami, you're very welcome. All right, let's recap some of these big volume runners here. AGMH going sideways. It's not really doing anything. BTOG not doing anything. ADTX now pushing up some more. We just pushed up to 1154. $11.58. Come on. Nice little push up there. There wasn't any news on BDTX this morning. They had news a couple of days ago when we first started watching it. They came off a reverse split. And then they had a reverse split. And then the day that the reverse split was announced, or excuse me, the day the reverse split started trading again at the new adjusted price, they put out a press release saying they had gotten a global licensing deal. And that was a couple of days ago. Bonfire Rob, you have a great morning. PSTV Therapeutics introduces Ryobic, FDA accepted proprietary name for lead drug candidate. PSTV. PSTV. All right, looks like EYEN has been released. It's at 196 on the bid, 215 on the ask. 2 on the bid now. EYEN, the one we told you about to watch. I wanted you to watch that one. Don't know where it's going to go, don't know what it's going to do, but I want you to watch it. And let's see, ADTX 1195. This thing is a monster. Woo-wee, 1197. Wicked up to 1198. Wow. EYEN. Now the bid is at 206. Come on, let's get this thing up over 12. ADTX. You got a wick up to 1205? I must have missed that. $12.07. PSTV is now up to 53.9. EYEN seems to be coming down a little bit. Bid's down to 191 now. Let's go back and look at ADTX. Up over 12. Yeah, I got a wick up to 1209. 1211. 14. This thing is on fire. Holy smokes. What a great little push up this morning. My gosh. Just won't give up. Sammy, ADTX, 1097 to 1206 and half out. Nice trade, Sammy. Beautiful. The bid now back up to 206 on EYEN. EYEN. The bid's now up to 235. Boom. I love it. 239, 241, 242, 247. Oh, the wolf pack. Boom is right, Terry. Nice little pop up there. Love it. Wolfpack just got some breakfast. That's right. Now ADTX pulling down quickly. Everybody's taking profit up at 12. Everybody was taking profit up there. Let's see if we get another pop on EYEN and push it up over 250. Wouldn't that be sweet? It's got a long way to go, though. It's got a long way to go. Time to eat some bacon. There we go. That was a bacon boom. Yeah, I like that. Bill, EYEN 209 to 229. Good trade. Rut, EYEN 190 to 242. Good trade. Very good trade. Nicely done. Nicely done. APDN trying desperately to climb back up. ALAR announces fourth quarter financials. Yeah, I thought APDN might keep pushing up, but it looks like it's stalling out here. Let's see if it breaks this 230. If it can break through this 230, it might get a little push up to about 235. And then it's going to be questionable. Now let's go back and look at PSTV. PSTV, boom. That's not a bacon boom, though. That's a granola bar. Boom. That's not a bacon boom. That was a nice little pop on that one. EYEN pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. Let's see if it climbs up again. Breaks 250, it'll get really, really interesting. Remember, this thing started off at about $1.67, $1.69, somewhere in that area. That's where it was halted at. It's up about, what, 29%? Not bad. ALAR, fourth quarter revenues. APDN trying, just struggling. Carrie got it from ADPN, that's hard to say, from 217 to 229. Nice little quick trade there. Very nice. EYEN back up to 230 again. This one doesn't want to give up. It doesn't want to quit. Come on. I want to see it break 250 and see how fun it gets after that. We need another press release here. And unfortunately, we've got about 42 minutes or 22 minutes. EYEN. Come on. Won't take much. Won't take much. ALAR, adjusted EBITDA for the first quarter, expected to range between 0.8 and 1.2 million. It's not very much. It's not. It must not be a very big company. Oh, let's see if we can find something here that is actually doing something well. EYEN pulling down now off of that 250 high. ADTX. Let's see if this is going to start curling back up again. We'll keep an eye on it. PSTV still trying. Just doesn't got a lot of volume. That one's just not bringing in as much volume as we need to. Hmm. Well, I've got my eyes and ears open here. If anything pops up, I'll definitely let you know. You'll be the first to know if something actually pops, starts moving. Mike, EYEN 197 to 239. Good trade. Jumped in, jumped out, got some profit off of it. Very good trade. PSTV trying to push back up. Now this one's been having trouble right at 60 cents. So if we can break up through 60 cents, we might have a shot here. Okay, we just hit 61, 62, 62.7. Come on, keep going. Volume's coming in. Oh, come on, stop selling off. PSTV is trying. Looks like the attention. Oh, EYEN is in trouble. It is dropping. We're talking right now. I'm watching PSTV. I wanted that to break 60, and it's up to 61.9, 62. We hit 62.7. Really, EYEN is, boy, people are panic selling on that one. Wow, that one is getting just trashed. I want to see a quick pop on PSTV here. Mm, mm, mm. Don't assume that's a dip buy. It could be, but don't assume. That could be trouble. It's just a little pullback. 250 to 181. Just a little pullback. We'll see if it pops here from 179 and pops back up over 2 again. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's see where it goes from 179. PSTV 63.6, 64.4. Come on, baby. Keep going. Remember, this one has a catalyst. It's moving up on some news. Not what I would call big news. but it is moving up nonetheless. 66.5. There we go. I kind of figured that break above 60 was going to get this one going. We just hit 67.5. EYEN is taking people on a roller coaster here. This is downhill bobsledding. 175 now. Woo! Yeah, cool runnings. That's true. All right, we've got about 13 minutes till we get that 8 o'clock news. 8 o'clock news seems to be the best for us, but that's not saying much. Last week and this week, it hasn't been much to brag about. $204. Just looking at some numbers here. Decided to add Bitcoin to Treasury Reserve. ATAI Sciences decided to add Bitcoin to its Treasury Reserve. Diversification strategy. But of course, it's not getting any volume. All right, 749. I want to show this stock here, just because this is near and dear to my heart. This is near and dear. Spry is moving a little bit. Spry, SPRY. They had a press release out this morning on their fourth quarter revenue. So it just pumped up about 20 cents or so out of nowhere, but no volume on the stock. So it's not. Cells, CELZ, secures FDA clearance for expanded dose escalation in a clinical trial for chronic lower back pain. That's on CELZ. fresh, hot off the press. CELZ. We'll see where this one goes. Now, the one I wanted to go back to, Salim, good morning. One of the ones I want to go back to, I want this to be I want you to ask yourself some questions here on this one. Let me draw a line here. This is on EYEN, and I'm just going to use this as an example. If you bought EYEN, this is just a hypothetical. I want to show you this as a hypothetical situation. For those of you on Zoom, you can see my chart here. Let's assume that you bought this stock at $1.96. Oops. Let's assume you bought this stock at $1.96. That means you either bought it right here on its way up, and my question would be, if you bought it at $1.96 and it's gone all the way to $2.50 and you didn't sell, my question would be, why not? Again, just hypothetical, rhetorical question. If you bought at $1.96, that means you bought it over here. And after that, it went straight up and topped off at $2.50. And then it started having trouble at, in the 239s, 240s. You saw the trouble starting. Clear indication, yeah, I need to lock in some profit here. If you didn't buy it there at $1.96, then that means you had to have bought it over here on its way down. And again, my question would be, why would you do that? When a stock is dropping, really dropping, you bought in on the way down instead of waiting for a reversal to go back up again. So just a hypothetical, rhetorical question. If you bought it if you had a really great entry, 195, 196, you clearly should have been looking to sell on this big, huge pop, especially when it started having troubles. And if you didn't buy it there, the only other obvious observation is that you bought it on the way down, which again, I would be questioning, why would you do that? Why would you buy it when it's dropping so quickly? And maybe the answer is, I thought I was catching the bottom. Well, we've talked about that, never trying to guess where the bottom is at. So I just wanted to point that out to you. If you get a good entry like that and it spikes up on you like that, you should really be looking at selling. That should be, your finger should be on the sell button up here. And when it's falling like that, buying it on the way down is a very, very dangerous thing. You should never, ever do that. Wait till it bottoms. I always tell everybody that. Be patient, be patient, be patient. Let it fall, let it fall, let it fall. See if it's going to find a bottom. And when you suspect that it's found a bottom, wait for the reversal. Get confirmation that it is going back up before you play it again. There's plenty of time. So I just want to point that out because that's a subject that's very near and dear to me, of getting such a great entry and not taking advantage of it, or buying in when it's dropping quickly. So just wanted to point that out. Just you toss that situation around in your head a little bit and say, yeah, that makes sense. You get a great entry like that and it spikes up that high, you should be thinking about selling. And I definitely don't want to buy when it's dropping. All right, enough of that. Sells, Spry, ATAI, PSTV. I just wanted to point that out. It's, and if you get a great entry and it goes up and it's not up as high as you'd like, it's not your target, I understand not selling, when it spikes up like that. You don't sell because, well, I still want another 5%. I get that. I do that myself. But when I see it spike like that and then it starts to drop and we get a red candle and then we get another red candle and we see volume picking up on those drops, that's a clear sign to me that, you know what, I may be making a bad choice here getting out because it might go back up, but I'm not taking the risk. I'm going to lock in the profit that I have. I'm going to lock that in because it just makes sense to lock it in. And maybe not everybody will agree with that, but I would rather be safe and lock it in when I see it starting to have problems. If it doesn't and it starts to curl back up and we see the strength and the volume coming in to support the climb back up again after you've already sold, you can play it again if you want to. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. There's no rule that says you can't jump back in, unless you just don't have the money to do it. But always try to take advantage when you're in the money. It may not be as much as you'd like to have, but you've got to build your account up. That's the only way you're going to advance things in your account, is by locking in profit, even if it's just, even if you sell half. I don't necessarily like that strategy a lot. Depends on where I've bought in, how fast it's moving, and that kind of stuff. But sometimes just jumping out 100%, getting out of the darn thing before it has a chance to take back everything it gave you, is always a pretty good policy. All right, let's see what we got here at 8 o'clock. QSI, participate in DNA webinar on large-scale proteomic, and boy, that's some scientific gobbledygook. QSI, popping up a little bit on some news. WINT, WINT, licensing and supply agreement. WINT on a licensing agreement. Be careful with that one. That one has a bad reputation. ATNM announce a research collaboration with Memorial Sloan Kettering to support further clinical expansion. Seems a bit on the fluffy side. BCTX monitoring board issues positive recommendation to continue with a phase 3 study in metastatic breast cancer. So that one could pop. PCTX, low float stock. They've got the green light from their safety committee to continue with the phase 3, which is pretty good news. So it could pop. BCAB, 2 poster presentations at an upcoming medical meeting. All right. CADL. CADL and IDEA Pharma announce a strategic partnership to advance path to market commercialization efforts for the CAN 2409. I'm going to call that one kind of fluffy news. ESPR aligns with the US FDA to initiate a phase 3 clinical trial. That seems a bit unappreciated. Clicking through the rest of these press releases, I'm not seeing anything that's getting any attention. Railway virtual conference. Man, a lot of conferences. A lot of conferences and seminars and change in board of directors. Just really fluffy, useless news here. Let's go back and look at Went. That was the other one I mentioned. Went. Now that one's gone from 174 to 240 on that press release. Boy, EYEN is just getting beat to death. Wow. IVVD. Went. Let's go back here and look at some of these others. EYEN is getting that 8 o'clock Remember, at 8 o'clock, you're going to get a lot of wild fluctuations in the candles. You're going to see big, huge spikes up, big drops down on the on the candles. Don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to that. Look at the bid price and the ask price. That's where the price actually is. Don't look at those big spikes. Don't let that big spike up fool you into thinking that the price actually is moving up there and oh my God, I better get in because this thing's really moving. No, don't let it fool you. That's a classic beginner's mistake, is to look at those candles at 8 o'clock and misinterpret those. Now let's go back and look at Wint. We spiked up to 250. Now be careful with this stock. I know it's a low float stock. They've gone through reverse split. This company has a notorious reputation for reverse splits. They do one about once a year. Here's one in 2023 they did in February. Then in April the next year, they did another one. And then February of this year, they did another one. They do one about every year. And the reason for that, it's not a great company financially. Financially speaking, fundamentals, this company is not worthy. And so what happens is they do the reverse split, they get the price up there around $3, $4, $5, and it works its way right back down into that 30, 40 cent range, and there it stays. And then they have to do another reverse split to get the price back up. It's a constant every year thing with them. Now, if you get lucky and you can play it in between the reverse splits on a day, as a day trade where it happens to spike up one day, like this morning on a press release, great. But don't ever look at Wint as a long-term play. It's just not. It's just not that kind of stock. If something changes within the company, if they get a nice phase 3 completion or something, and they've got a drug going to market, and it's going to mean hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars in revenue, yada, yada, yada. All of a sudden, the financials, the fundamentals change. And now it might become a long-term hold. But the way the company stands right now, it's not a good long-term. It's strictly a day trade or a very short swing trade. BDTX. No, I'm not holding BDTX. I got rid of that in pre-market. I took a 3-penny loss on that one in pre-market. But as soon as, and I said this morning on Discord, if it starts turning around and looks better and looks like it might do something, I might jump back into it. But not till it shows me something better than what it's doing. Let me go back and look at Wint again. Wint. It's up to 238 again, 239. Like I said, good day trade. If it has news, it's got a low float. It's got a very low float. They just came off a reverse split. So it does have an extremely low float. So in that sense, it is a stock that can really pop pretty nicely on a press release. as we can see, as it's doing right now. It's gone from 173. It's gone up as high as 250 here. It's wicked up to 250. But I wouldn't trust it longer than just a quick day trade. Kathy, BDTX 185 to 190. Nice. Oh my gosh. This is brutal this morning. EBS. Looks like Went is trying really hard to get back up again. EBS announced the approval of Caloxidol nasal spray by Health Canada for the treatment of known or suspected opioid overdose. No volume. The Went got me. No, 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 no. Don't misunderstand. I've not been burnt by Went. I've made a lot of money on Went over the years. It's just, I just know from watching the stock for many, many years here what it does. It's rinse and repeat kind of company. They just do the same thing over and over and over. And I just don't want to see anybody misunderstand what this company is all about. But no, I've not been burnt by Went. All right. Sammy, Went got you. It's in your black book. Do not touch book. Kind of glancing down through all the press releases this morning. Really not seeing anything. PSTV. So far, Went is holding up. It's not giving its gains back just yet. It will, but not yet. Be fun to see that thing actually hit 250 and go over. It's up 42%, 43%. Now, EYEN is back down below where it closed at yesterday. Isn't that something? That thing is getting beat up. Beat up. Went at 237. Boy, I'm not seeing anything. You guys see anything? RR. Rytech Robotics and Ghost Kitchens announced restaurant opening at Peachtree City Walmart. Where's Peachtree City? Where is Peachtree City? Never heard of it. Peachtree City, Georgia. I guess that would make sense since it's called Peach. It's a Georgia peach. But anyway, right? Rich Tech Robotics and Ghost Kitchens are announcing a opening of a new store. And that's the ticker symbol's RR for what that's worth. Yeah, it's got to be Georgia with a name like Peachtree. Got to be Georgia. Yep. Peachtree City. I never heard of Peachtree City. That's interesting. Is there anything there besides peaches? I assume there's at least one peach tree. Kathleen, I live near there. Oh, very cool. That's where all the Delta pilots live. Ah, might be a place to stop next time I take the RV out. Expensive houses. Hmm, very cool. All right, we're going to keep watching. Right now, I don't see anything really moving. If you guys do, by all means, holler it out. Remember, next week, let's see, what's the week of? That would be the week of the 24th. Next week, we're going to be back on TikTok again. RC, class action lawsuit. Yeah, Wind's getting some great volume. It's getting some really great volume here. Just not going anywhere. I'm gonna do Max. I'll do Instagram next week as well, but I'm gonna do TikTok and Instagram. So everybody that followed me over from that came over here to YouTube from TikTok, I'll be back on TikTok next week. And I'm going to do Instagram as well. I'm going to do Instagram as well. I'm going to do Instagram. XHLD. XHLD tried to pop. Curled up a little bit. Popped up to 168 and then dropped 6 cents. Very typical of stocks this morning. No follow through. Now, next week, I'm going to be on, just like I am this week on YouTube, where I'm on from like 7 o'clock until like 9:15. I'm going to do that next week on Instagram. I won't be on YouTube this long next week. If you want to catch the full, a couple hours of the press releases nonstop, you'll have to pop over to Instagram. Now, I will be on TikTok for a little bit of that time. I'll be on Instagram and TikTok at the same time. I'm just not going to be on TikTok for a couple hours. That's going to be a very short window that I'll be on TikTok, but I'll be on Instagram for the full, couple hours there from 7 to 9:15 or so, calling out those press releases. So if you'd like to be a part of that on Instagram, pop over to Instagram and give us a follow. Remember, on Instagram, if you're not following us, you won't be able to see the live. The live stream over there are a little bit different than they are everywhere else. The only way to see the live stream is if you're following the account. I don't have enough followers there to push it out to the entire Instagram platform. The only people that get to see it are people following my account. And you can find us, you can type in Wolfpack Community in the search bar on Instagram, or you can type in my @ symbol, which is JG46550. JG46550. Type that in, search box, and it'll pull up the Wolfpack Community page on Instagram, or just type in Wolfpack Community. Went now up to 242. Zoom user, yes, hang on just a minute. Give me just a second, and I'll pop that up for you. There you go. I just posted it for you. Direct message to you here on Zoom. That should take you over there. All right. Just curious, any reason why you keep changing platforms? It's just building community awareness, getting the word out on different platforms. Nothing any more complicated than that. We spent a solid week on TikTok doing a couple hours, and then we popped over here to YouTube where we're doing a couple hours, and it's working. It's working. And next week we'll be on Instagram. Like I said, I will go on to TikTok as well, but for a very short amount of time. But I'll be on Instagram next week. And we're just spreading community awareness around to different platforms. That's all it is. Went level 2. Orders are stacking up on the sell side. So we've got a lot of people trying to get out. The bid price, we were looking at the order book The bid price is getting hit a lot. There's a lot of people selling into the bid price. Now it's trying to switch. Now we're seeing a change on that level 2. Now we're starting to see the bids starting to stack up. A lot of people trying to get in. And the sell side is getting smaller. GCTK curling up a little bit, isn't it? It's up 23%. Christian, hang on just a moment. There you go, Christian. Just sent it to you. BKYI. Hosting a conference call. All right, we've got 2.5 minutes. And we'll get our 8:30 press releases. But our little world tour, as I've been calling it, around the different social media platforms, it's been working. I'm seeing, looking at the analytics on our website, I'm noticing an uptick in interest on the website. People popping over to the website, and had a few people subscribe over on the website, which is really great. But it seems to be working. And then at the end of the month, starting on the 31st, which is a Monday, we'll be back to our normal schedule. We'll be back to doing TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I may even try Facebook. But, and doing all 4 of them at the same time. But they're not going to be 2 hours long. They're only going to be about a half an hour long. Just FYI. SAG trying to curl up. All right, we've got about 30 seconds here. And we get our 8:30 press releases. Fingers crossed that something really beautiful pops up. Ten seconds. Countdown begins. I hope we're ready. And let's speak it out to the universe. We need a good one. SOAR, SOAR, expanding operating program advances towards market leadership. That is junk. TOMZ, selected by NASA for biosecurity operations. TOMZ, selected by NASA for biosecurity solutions. ICCM, reports an updated timeline and progress with the FDA regarding marketing authorizations for ProSense, an early stage breast cancer. DYAI announces funding award to use to accelerate development of protein-based vaccines. No volume. Now let's go look at that. How about, let's go back and look at Tom's real quick. TOMZ. This was the one that was selected by NASA for the biosecurity operations. Let's see if that gets any juice. SHFS names Mike Reagan as head of investor relations. That doesn't help anybody. EYEN is going to proceed with their $35 million buyback. Poet, advanced optical engine, samples to 3 global technology companies. That's nothing. SAG, we just looked at SAG a couple of minutes ago. It's up to 118 now. UPC, talking about a share consolidation or reverse split. They like to use that terminology sometimes. Share consolidation doesn't sound as bad as reverse split. INBS, to expand U.S. IP portfolio with expanded patent grant. So INBS with an extended patent grant. VCIG, disrupt cybersecurity market with V-Gallant cybersecurity AI-powered defense and military encryption chips. VCIG. I am glad you guys are getting all these press releases. We just never know which press release is going to be the one to send one of these stocks just crazy. So that's always an unknown. Sometimes we can get a pretty good idea of which one will based on the quality of the press release. But we just really never know which one's going to really do it. Zena, Z-E-N-A, is going to acquire its 7th land survey engineering company located in Florida. They've been buying up a lot of land surveying companies. Z-E-N-A, Zenatech. And like I was saying, we never know which one of these press releases is going to be the one to really send it. But the important part, I think, is that you at least know about the press release. That's an important aspect of this. Trading these penny stocks off of press releases. Knowledge is everything. Knowledge is the most valuable tool in your toolbox. You can't respond to a stock if you don't know it has news or not. If you know it has news, you can at least look at it and see if it's going to be one of those that takes off on a press release. If it doesn't, oh well, you stay away from it and you move on to the next one. If it does happen to be one of those ones that takes off on a press release, you had the knowledge of it a lot quicker than everybody else. And you at least had potentially the opportunity to get in quick and get a much better entry than a lot of people. And to me, that's powerful knowledge. And that's really what Wolfpack is. That's really what we do. That's kind of the whole theme here, is not ever telling you what stock to get in. I'm not a licensed broker, so I'll never tell you what stock you should be getting into, ever. I'm just calling out the press releases and letting you have the knowledge and say, I think that's kind of fluffy news, I'm staying away from it. Or if one really strikes you nice and you see the price really starting to go, I know that when that happens, you're going to sit back at some point and go, man, I'm really glad I heard him mention that press release, because I was able to catch that pretty quick. Some days we get a bunch. We get a bunch of amazing press releases, and I mean really good press releases that really send these stocks going crazy. And it's just barrels of profits coming in on those kind of calls. Other days, like last week and pretty much most of this week, it's been pretty thin. We've had a couple of stocks that ran, not going to lie. We had a couple that did really well. And we had a lot of Wolfpack members that made some pretty decent money on them. But overall, if you look at the big picture, last week was pretty bad. The market, just wasn't great. We didn't have a lot. Press releases just weren't that good. Jim, good morning. So that's, I get a lot of questions about, like, what is the Wolfpack? What is that all about? And it's truly just a community of traders. We hang out in Discord as a community throughout the day, talking about stocks and pre-market. But the live stream that we do off of our website, the Zoom, if I had to narrow it down to a short sentence, what the gist of it is, it's calling out press releases as they come out into the market so that you have the knowledge that it's there, and then you can act on it. You may not act on it, you may. Now, this morning, I haven't jumped on anything because of a press release. I suppose I probably could have made some money on Went if I had jumped into Went on that press release, but I'm not a big fan of Went. It's just one of them stocks gives me a bad feeling. ADTX popping again. ADTX once again. Can we break that high that we had here earlier this morning around 732 of 1218? Looks like we hit 1218, I think. Nice little pop there. Almost a 60-cent pop. Not bad. And Jeff Brands. Yeah, Jeff Brands is another one of those that I like to stay away from. They just have those kind of stocks, they just leave a bad taste in your mouth after you messed with them. 1188, 1193. Look at ADTX. Boy, oh boy. Nice. $12. 1126 to 12 in less than in about 2 minutes. Not bad. Yeah, EYEN was not a. It was a good one if you got in quick and you took that dip around 194, 195 and rode it up to, 240, 245. Great day trade. But after that, it just fell apart and it was so quick up and quick down. And it's been trending down ever since. It's just been falling apart. It is way below where it closed at yesterday even. So that it's getting hammered really badly. ADTX can't seem to get over 12. We keep smacking 12 and just can't seem to get up over that. Rick says, let's hit to 15. 15 would be nice. AEVA. What do we got here? Price target maintained. All right, that doesn't help us. Let's go back to ADTX. Let's see if it can get over 12. It keeps smacking 12 and just will not break over that. We've got too many people with 12 as a... They got their finger on the sell button at 12. Ooh, there it bounced over. 1205. And then right back under 12 again. Everybody's selling at 12. 12 must be the magic number. As soon as it gets 12, buddy, it just stops. That's it. Oh, let's see. What else? We got about 15, 16 minutes or so till we get our 9 o'clock press releases. Historically speaking, 9 o'clock doesn't give us really great press releases. But I get last week and this week, 7 o'clock hasn't either, or 7:30 or 8. It's just been very slow. But our time's coming. Our time is coming. I know a lot of the Wolfpack that's been with me for a while. They remember last summer. Last summer was insane. And I mean absolutely insane. We literally had 100%, 200%, 400%, 700% runners every day. Almost literally every day we had multiple 100%, 200% runners every day in pre-market and in after hours. We had a stretch there where just in after hours alone, we were getting a consistent 2 or 3 100% runners just in after hours alone. I mean, it was an amazing summer. It was really, really fun. When you get those kind of runs on stocks every day, my gosh, it is just crazy. But it slowed down. It has slowed down tremendously. PSTV curling back up. But I will tell you this, for all the Wolfpack members out there, our time's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. I've been through this. I'm speaking from experience. I've been through many seasons of stock trading, and it's coming back. It'll be back. We're gonna start seeing those kind of days again. It's coming. We just have to be patient and wait the market out. You know, we can't rush it. There's nothing we can do to rush the market and get things back to where we want them to be. All we can do is just be patient, be smart with the money that we have, and prepare ourselves for when those days start coming back again. It's coming though. I'm telling you, it's coming. I know it seems improbable at this point with all the mess that's going on, but it's coming. Some of you guys that have been in this for a long time will testify and agree that it works in cycles. It's coming back around. The market always corrects itself. It gets bad, it gets good, then it gets bad again, and then it gets great, and then it gets bad, and that's just the way the market is. And we're just kind of going through that kind of slump right now. And I'm speaking in terms of press releases. I'm not speaking about overall stocks going up or down or whatever. I'm just talking about press releases. Our time's coming, and I'm going to be patient and wait it out. And I'm excited for everybody that's going to be right there with me when it happens. I know it's hard to wait it out. It is tough. TLS. TEGAI and Telos Corporation join forces to expand campus Wi-Fi at U.S. Air Force Academy. That is fluff. CNDT. I drove by the Air Force Academy there in Colorado Springs many times when I was stationed there. Carrie, you have a great day at work today. Oh my gosh. We got about 10 minutes here. We'll get our 9 o'clock stuff. Now, just again, I've said it a couple of times this morning, but I want to mention it again because I know there's some of you that want to take advantage of it. Next week, I'm going to be on Instagram from just before 7 o'clock, like 6:55, so that we're live when the 7 o'clock press releases come out. I'm going to be on there at 6:55. And I'll be on Instagram for a couple hours, calling out the press releases as they come out. I'll also be on TikTok, but that's going to be very short. I'm going to be on TikTok from like right after the 7:30 press releases come out, probably around 7:35. You know, it depends on how long it takes us to get through the 7:30 stuff. But I'll only be on TikTok for like maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, just long enough to throw out the 8 o'clock press releases, and then that'll be it. APDN. Trying to pop a little bit. Just having a hard time getting its legs underneath of it. So if you want to get that 7 o'clock stuff and the 7:30, you're going to have to hit me up over there on Instagram. wolfpackcommunity.com. I think you can type that into the search bar and I'll probably pop up then. Or just type in my @ symbol, which is JG46550. JG46550. And that'll get you over to Instagram. And we'll do that for a whole week over there, along with TikTok. And of course, Zoom. Zoom is always number one. And that'll be the end of our world tour. And then after next week, the only way to get all 3 hours of press releases is on our Zoom, which we do every trading day. We start at 6:45 in the morning, Eastern time. So if you're on the West Coast, I know it's early. That's really early. But we start at 6:45 Eastern time on our Zoom meeting. And that lasts until about 9:40, 9:35, 9:40, somewhere in there. Just depends on what's going on in the market. But it's about 3 hours long. So if you want to get those 3 hours every day, the only way to do that is through Zoom from our website, wolfpackcommunity.com. There's a link to it on our YouTube channel. There's a link to it on TikTok. There's a link to it on Instagram. APDN trying desperately to push back up. APVO, APVO. APVO, one of their drugs, achieves 90% remission rate in AML trials, surpassing a previous 66% in a trial. Phase 2 enrollment, or cohort 2 enrollment nearly complete. But the stock's not going anywhere. It's not getting much volume. Popped up a little bit, pulled back down where it started, and then spiked up just a little bit, but not doing much. Let's take a look at Went, trying to pop. Patty is saying good morning to you over there, Terry. On Discord, you better pop in there and say good morning. Went now at 239. Be cool to see that break 250. That would be rather awesome. $245. We just wicked up to 252. Went. Isn't that crazy? That is just nuts. GLMD secures new patent grant extending their patent protection to 2039. GLMD took about a 30-cent pop when that press release came out. GLMD, but it's not, there's no volume. I don't suspect that press release is going to do much. But there it is. We'll make sure you got it. GLMD. Oh, what's the temperature outside? 56 degrees. Right now in Central Florida. Vicki, you have a great day as well. Build a snowman. 56 degrees. Well, that's better than 26 degrees, I guess. '67 in Miami. Who's got the coldest this morning? I'll bet it's somebody in Montana or Wyoming. We got 3 minutes until we get our 9 o'clock press releases. Darn Good's got 31 in Montana. Sheila says it's 33 degrees in northern Indiana. 16 is the feel-like temperature in Minnesota. I forgot about Minnesota. Woo! 25 in Vail. Oh, I think Helene might beat everybody out there. 25. 43 in Kentucky. 32 in Gurnee. 15 in northern Minnesota. Oh, Sheila's got 34. Ben's got 41. Oh, my goodness. 15 in northern Minnesota. So everybody that's got those 30s and 40s, be thankful. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, 23. That's chilly. That is chilly. 23 in Albuquerque. Wow. It's cold up north. It is cold. 36 and snow. Oh my. I guess I'm not going to complain about 56 and sunny. I'm not going to complain one little bit. Not going to complain. All right, 30 seconds. Can you hang out with us for 30 seconds more? We're going to get 9 o'clock press releases. Historically, 9 o'clock doesn't do a whole lot for us. 74 and sunny in San Diego. Nice. Oh my gosh. Beautiful California. All right, here we go. PWN. Oh, let's see. LGVN announces positive Type B meeting with the US FDA regarding a pathway for a drug with Alzheimer's. So positive meeting with the FDA. LGVN. DRCT. Direct Digital Holdings launches practical generative AI use cases for tools. Fluff. PWM announces that its subsidiary recently launched an AI-powered financial news intelligence agent, integrating AI to enhance the precision of market information delivery. Again, fluff. How about XTIA? Zena, another one on Zena, same one, FEIM. FEIM announces contract increase for approximately $12 million. That's on FEIM, a $12 million contract increase. Big spread on that one. 1530 on the bid and 18 on the ask. So be careful with that. Bond, BON. Nothing there. How about KBSX? KBSX. Did we have some news there? KBSX popped from 414 to 5, and then now it's pulled back to 450. KBSX. KBSX. AMTD. Nothing there. New person on board of directors. Boy, a lot of fluff stuck in at 9 o'clock. Went getting close to that 250. It keeps wicking up. It wicks up through 250, but it just can't seem to get up above that and stay up there. It's at 248. Come on. $66 in Clearwater? Really? 56 here. Huh. That's a huge difference. I've never seen it be 10 degrees difference. There goes Went. Boom. 260. We wicked up to 260 on that bad boy. Wow. 48 in Houston. $254. Come on, baby. Keep up above 250. Stay above 250 and just keep right on ripping for everybody that got into Went earlier. I do not have a dog in the fight in that one. Chris, you have a great day. BTBT. What do we got here? Announces that subsidiary, White Fiber, have entered a strategic partnership to bring on demand NVIDIA B200 GPUs to customers beginning in April. Not too many people too excited about that. Hollywood, you have a great day. I don't see any news on KBSX. Probably some kind of an 8K filing or something. I'm sure there's probably a SEC filing out on that. I just don't have anything on E-Trade. They didn't see fit to put that out on E-Trade. That happens sometimes. Yes. Yes. I will be on after hours today. 4 p.m. Little bit before 4 p.m. on our Zoom and on YouTube. I turned on my computer yesterday afternoon, just prior to 4 o'clock to go live, and I turned my computer on, and it forced me to do a system update and a securities update. You know, usually when those updates pop up, it says schedule now or remind me later. And I keep hitting remind me later, remind me later. Well, apparently you can only do that so many times. And my computer said, there's no more remind me later. We're doing a system update and a virus scan update, securities update. I mean, but it's done. So now I don't have to worry about it again for a while. So that's what happened yesterday. And by the time it was all done, it was like 9:25 or 9:25, 4:25. And I was like, all the action is done. There's no point now. Look at Went, 267. How many of you got into Went? Did anybody take any of that by chance? Hopefully I didn't scare anybody away from that one. I didn't mean to if I did. 270. Brent got in at 215. Nice. Pinky got it from 210 to 270. Nice trade, Pinky. Nice. Well, you got you a nice entry on that one. You got a really good entry there at 210. iPhone still holding a 211 entry. Love it. Yeah, that's nice. Byron, yes, I got the Jeep picked up a couple days ago. I got the Jeep picked up a couple of days ago. I went over on Tuesday and got it picked up. Sitting out in the drive. And absolutely love it. Really, really, really like it. I think it's going to be a nice fun little vehicle to drive around. Pretty excited about it. Yeah. Yeah, take it to the beach, just drive it around town here. Anybody buy the dip? 270. Come on. Two Do we see 275, Rick? What do you think? Rick's saying 275, 271, 72. TDTH popped up. Not sure why. TDTH. Something generating some movement here on TDTH. Little bit of movement here. I have to study it for a little bit and figure out what it's doing. But there is a little bit of movement there. Only 34,000 shares on that stock, so it doesn't have a lot of shares on it. It's definitely a watch and see at this point. But it popped up about 25%. ATOS, fourth quarter financials. Spectrum, still holding my EYEN short over 225. Nice. Nice position on that at 225. Good job. Wow. Hopefully you're going to bank pretty good on that one. PSTV, nothing. Went, still hanging in there. It's still hanging in there. What do we think? 275? Yeah, I think you'd have the right idea with that one, Spectrum. I think you're thinking the same way I am on that one. It just has a history of doing what I know you think it's going to do. Terry, yeah, it does have the spare tire on the back. You bet. And I'm going to get a tire cover. I haven't figured out where to get it yet, but I'm going to get a tire cover for the back that has the Wolfpack emblem on it with Wolfpack Community on it. I just have to figure out where to get it custom made at. CISO. Nothing there. Tatum, we were talking about Went. Spectrum is his name on YouTube. We were talking about Went. So I just got to figure out where to get a custom tire cover from. Probably could get one on Amazon somewhere, I would imagine. All right. Well, it looks like it's 9:17. It's time for us to get going here. We're going to spend the last 10 minutes or so with the Wolfpack on our Zoom meeting. You guys have a great day today. YouTube, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for hitting the follow button or the subscribe button on YouTube. Remember, next week, if you want the full from 7 all the way through the 9 o'clock press releases, you'll have to pop over to Instagram to get that. But we'll finish out the week here and try to give whatever comes out to you. So in the meantime, you guys have a good one. I'll be back on YouTube again today at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be right back here to do the after hours trading and see if we can get some runners in after hours with some press releases. So until then, you guys have a great day. Stay safe. Keep it green. And God bless.